We're live. No, where are you? You don't get to do that. You're so dumb. Oh my gosh.
I make myself laugh so hard.
Wait, where are you?
I'm right here. Why can't you see me?
Talk.
Hello.
We're live. I thought there was a big fat. No, where are you? Delay. Hold on. I turned it off. I did.
You were looking at the wrong screen, weren't you?
No, but if I leave one dumb page open, it starts it. There's a little bit of a delay. So.
How big is my face right now?
It is so big. Okay. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to tonight's Q&A call on Google Hangouts.
This is what we do. You can be a rap person. Anyone can do this job.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, what are we're going to answer their questions, right? Oh, you're not allowed to do that. Okay. We're answering your guys' questions. So if you have more questions, or if something's wrong with the connection, and it's usually not our fault, go comment on the Facebook thread about this hangout, and we'll be checking and looking. So
let's do it.
Okay. 6 new comments. Let's see. All right. We're ready. All right. So I'm going to ask you question number 1.
You do not get to ask the questions. We are both answering them.
Okay. Kelly Beard says, best advice to jump from Ruby to Diamond. Focus on DTs or LCs first. Besides posting when you are limited to going out, what's the best way to make that happen?
What? Where did you find that question?
It was the very first one.
Oh, yeah. I see it. Okay. I think you're actually the person that needs to answer that, because that's exactly what you did. Can you even remember that?
Yes. But
March?
It was just insanity. And what March was for me was a bunch of people that I had been planting seeds with all through July, August, September, October, November, and December. When I came back from conference in January, they all came in my business in February and March, like all of them. And I had people coming in so fast, I didn't even know who to build. We were just blindly building people. But the point of that is that you have to plant seeds and know that those seeds are going to come to fruition. And I know we talk about that all the time, but even when you feel like nothing is happening, you're not moving, you have to know that you're on the brink of something huge. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of timing. Their timing, your timing, God's timing. It has to be the right time. So, you have to just keep going. And yes, loyal customers, we take them all day long, but you got to start approaching people as potential distributors and telling them that you think they'd be awesome at the business first. And if they say, maybe later, right now I'm just interested in trying the greens, then there you go. You got an LC. But don't be approaching people as loyal customers to begin with. Approach them about the business first. That's where you start, especially if you're trying to build and grow and promote. That's all I got about that one.
I think something else that's really important, you guys, is so many of us think, oh my gosh, I've got to sign 17 or 21 DTs to go diamond. You've got to remember that eventually you're going to sign a runner. If you haven't yet, or maybe they're a sleeper, there's plenty of those that come in and you think, oh my gosh, why aren't they more into this? I feel like I'm pulling them along. And then all of a sudden one day something just snaps in their brain and they wake up and they kill it. You might have a sleeper on your team. But your job is to constantly be enrolling people that are qualified to do this, that have a strong why, that have a reason to kill this business. It is not your job to fill your entire chart. Now we do that. I mean, I've filled quite a few charts in my day, but that's not what your focus is. Your focus is the next enrollment. are they my runner? The next enrollment, are they my runner? And then eventually you'll look in your organization and you'll have like 3 or 4 who are building on their own. It's just you don't ever know who that is. So you've got to focus on enrolling that one more person and finding that one more person. And then if you're in the business, and let's say you're just ranked as distributor after 2 or 3 months. So you're in for 3 months and you're a distributor and you're thinking, gosh, I mean, why isn't this picking up for me? We have to figure out why you haven't enrolled a team yet. That is one of the biggest things that I really want to figure out how to help you guys. If you've been in for a while and you haven't enrolled any team members yet, we've got to get to the bottom of that. And we want to do a better job of helping with that as leaders. You have a diamond upline who would love to help you with this, but you can't go distributor to Ruby, Ruby to Emerald, Emerald to Diamond, whatever, if you're not enrolling teams. So if it's been a while and you haven't enrolled anybody, I would start to go to my upline and say, okay, these are my prospects. These are the messages that I've sent. Let them critique it. You might be sitting on follow-ups too long. You might be saying 3 words that kind of are throwing people off. There could be something so tiny that your upline can read and see, and you've got to be open to that. And then at that point, that's when you decide, okay, I'm going to start fresh. I'm going to do this again, and I'm going to be a runner. But I think that that's something that we all need to be thinking about constantly is, and sometimes you're not enrolling team because your mindset stinks. And sometimes you're just really not putting it out there to people because, one, you've decided that the 4 people that ignored you equals the world. I mean, right? Don't we do that all the time? The 4 people that have ignored me or told me no means everyone forever and ever and ever for eons and eons and eons is going to tell me no. And there is no way that I'm ever going to be a presidential diamond, but people are doing it every day. And so the reality is that it's your mindset. And so if you're thinking that, you're of course not going to be reaching out to new people. 90% of the time when somebody says to me, I feel stuck, or I'm in a rut, or I'm in a slow period or something. 90% of the time is that you've really allowed yourself to believe that you are, so you're really not working as hard as you think you are. It's so simple, you guys. Keep working, keep being consistent, and those people will come. And you build a diamond chart by enrolling that next person. But if you're not enrolling new people, we've got to figure that out. The 4 that you enrolled or the 3 that you've enrolled, that's amazing. But we've got Lindsay and I tell our leaders this all the time. We have got to complete the steps to success every month. You've got to do it. That's how this business gets built, and that's how you get to those top ranks. And it's got to be a trickle down. The leaders have to do it, and then you guys see us doing it, and you know that it's possible. Trust me, if I can enroll a single person in my chaotic and crazy, insane life and mind, you guys absolutely can. It just sometimes may take a little bit of tweaking to get you there.
Also with that is, logistically speaking, I just had a distributor tell me today. Okay, first of all, let me say one more thing before I say that. When you're thinking of going from Ruby to Diamond, it's really, really overwhelming to look at the diamond chart and think, oh my gosh, I've got 17 holes to fill. That's why we always still say, just one more. You're just looking for the next person. Like Eryn just said 50 times over, you're just looking for the next person. It will happen on its own. And yes, you have to keep looking at that chart so you know the best place to place people and whatnot. But you're just looking for the next one. The next one might turn around and pop Emerald in 1 month. And then you're not looking at 17 spots anymore. You're just looking for one. Okay, so don't be overwhelmed by what you're lacking from your chart, but keep your chart over here in the back of your mind. And then logistically speaking, I just had a distributor tell me 5 minutes ago that she reached out to, I don't know how or for what reason, to one of the new DTs way down in her chart somewhere, who is not her enrollment, who is not her contact, who's been in the business for 2 weeks and had zero idea that there was even anything like the 120 product credit. She had no idea that she's supposed to be getting 4 loyal customers in her first 30 days in order to get 2 rep rewards and 120 in product credit. So as you guys who are maybe building to Ruby or Ruby and above and looking towards the next rank, yes, when those new DTs come in on your team, you need to reach out to them and say hello, welcome them. How can I help you get started? And make sure that the word is being passed along that they have goals to meet now, that you're going to help them do that. Because so many times we get people in who we allow to fail just by ignorance because they have no idea what they're supposed to be doing. Maybe their enroller doesn't know how to tell them what to do or doesn't know how to train them, or maybe their enroller was on the way out while they're coming in, and they don't know how to coach them next. So as a leader looking to be a stronger and more promoted leader, you've got to figure out ways to reach out to your team. And of course, once you get to certain levels, it's impossible to reach out to all the new people, but we still find ways to check in every now and then. We connect with people who are distributors who are close to missing out on a fast start bonus. So that puts us in touch with the enrolling distributor and the new distributor, because we're contacting both of them. One of them about the 120 product credit and one of them about a fast start bonus. You guys, even though you're not looking at cabs and stuff, you need to be thinking about that too. You don't want any of the distributors on your team who enroll a new distributor, even if nobody knows what they're doing, to miss out on a $99 bonus. That's really fast cash. So reach out to your enrolling distributors and your new distributors and make sure that they're getting the proper information that they should be getting. Okay, next question. Ashley Reniger asks about, first of all, placing LC. So I'm going to let Eryn give a little hot word on this. You just
when to
up
place
my ear
LC?
with it. So. No, yes. When and how.
When and how.
Not logistically how. When.
Not literally how.
No.
Okay.
When to place LC.
Okay, so I just told Lindsay a few minutes ago, I hate training on this because it is a case-by-case basis every single time. We do not have hard and fast rules. This is totally up to every distributor and what their comfort level is. I like for my PVV to be close to 400, even as a presidential diamond. That is what I like. I do not keep any LCs at all over that. I give every LC that I get to somebody on my team. There's really two main reasons that I do that. One is if it's going to give me a fast start bonus or a cab bonus. So once you reach diamond and above, you get the $99 fast start bonus on your enrollments, but you also get the $80 bonus whenever they get their first 2 customers. But that's not just your enrollments. That's anybody you've enrolled after you've gone diamond. So right now, I have 36 people that I could earn a cab off of. I'm just pulling that number out of thin air. Don't think that I know it for sure. But that I could get a cab off of. And so if I am pulling my report and look and see that, Sarah Schmermacher needs one more LC to be fast start qualified, I can get an LC and put her there. So I move LCs for fast start bonuses and then for promotions. If I need a box at 400, if I need a DT at 400 and I have 76 BV missing and somebody's buying 2 boxes of wraps, that LC is going in that spot. It really is a case by case basis. And what I always recommend is, especially if you have boxes in your chart, if you have distributors in your chart that are close to 400 the previous month, and this is your promotion month, I personally keep their volume updated every single day. Like, I know before I go to place an LC whether or not they need it. Because here's what happens is you might have a DT that's at like 376, and you would just need a couple, 30 something BV right there. But this guy over here has a lot more missing. You need to know the difference in your chart and where the volumes are, because we don't want to just willy-nilly give someone 6 LCs if they're never going to get their own volume. But like I said, it is a case-by-case basis. I do not keep any, though. I place all of them. Here's the thing. you want that $99 fast start bonus at any cost, because let's say your LC that you bring in today orders greens. That's $33. Your commission off of that is like $5.60 or something like that. I'm not great at math. $5.60 times the 3 months they're obligated to purchase is $16. So that's the commission that you've earned off of that. But you put that $33 order under another LC, another DT, and that makes their second LC, and you get a $99 bonus. That's 9 times the amount of money you would have earned as a commission. So sometimes we get really stuck in this whole mindset of, well, I really need that wrap reward. Do you really need the wrap reward, or would you rather have that $99 fast start bonus that is coming next week? It's guaranteed to come to you. And what we have found, because Lindsay and I actually didn't know this strategy until recently, what we have found is that this is a commonly used practice in high top earners. I do not like to be as specific about it as a lot of them get. I like it to be up to you and your comfort level. If you have an LC coming in and you want to keep them, you keep them. It's always up to you. And it's a total personal preference. But we definitely place LCs for fast starts. I think that every single one of us needs to be earning every fast start that comes available to us. That's $100. And that matters to you. That matters to me. It matters to Lindsay. And so I think all of you, that needs to be a priority for you as well. And more often than not, there is an occasion where it's not, but more often than not, it is a really well appreciated thing by your new DTs. They love it. They feel like that is like the most amazing gift. And it creates a little bit of a bond and a camaraderie, and it's like a teamwork thing. And it's very rare that, I give an LC to a DT that it's not motivating. And so that's also a really good thing. We all remember being brand new and struggling and feeling like it's only been 10 days and I'm not going to ever get an LC. You know what that feels like. So sometimes throwing them an LC is actually going to build their confidence.
Yeah. And then a spin-off of that one is keeping track of loyal customers' perk points and auto ships. And we've talked about this before. There's a lot of different ways that people do it. Some are more technical. Some are more old school. I know Jody Gravely keeps a index card box, and every single loyal customer has an index card, and she writes their name at the top and the date that their auto ship is going to go out, their phone number and email address, and then what they're ordering for their auto ships, and some key like health goals that they might have or whatever. And she'll go through that box, and she keeps them in numerical order based off of when their auto ships are going to ship. So she stays 5 days ahead, and she'll contact them and see how they're liking their product, and see if she can help them with anything, making sure they're taking it correctly and everything. And that's, again, an old school way to do it. Some people have Excel spreadsheets. I don't. I have a list of all of my loyal customers and their names and their password, their ID number, their contact information, and the date that their auto ship goes out. And then I go through it off of a page, and there's obviously not as much room for, stuff like, what their health goals are and what they've been ordering and stuff like that. But I do make notes out to the side every now and then. But you should be contacting these folks at least once a month, I would say. Go through your list, even the people who aren't ordering, say hello, happy Thanksgiving, thank you for being my customer. And then the ones who are ordering, again, check on them, make sure they're doing well, remind them of how many perks points they have. Also kind of try and keep track of how many months they are in the business or as a customer. So if they're at month 3, you get to celebrate and say, yay, you've earned free shipping for life on every auto ship order you place from here on out. If they're 5 months, you might say, after next month, you get $50 free in perks points. So you're just keeping them updated on their perks and their the advantages of being a loyal customer at all times. Some people also will use a mailing platform like MailChimp and send out email announcements like in this is a good time to do, if you're going to do that, like a Black Friday email with whatever they have, and it'll send it straight to their email address. And if they want to respond to that, it'll reply back directly to your email address. It keeps all of your loyals' emails in specific groups or lists if you want to separate them out. So that's another way to stay organized. And I know people like Ida on our team, she contacts her loyals every 2 to 7 days. So she stays in really, really good touch with her loyal customers. It's just a matter of preference and how organized you are and how you want to do it. Find a system that works for you and stick with it. But we do, really encourage you to stay in touch with these people, because before I started doing this, I let a year pass before I ever contacted any of these people. And then I had to go back and say, oh my gosh, do you remember me? I'm your rap girl. You came to so-and-so's party. And that's really embarrassing. And then also, I like to do this. It makes me feel like I'm doing my job, even though I know they don't read it. When they join as a loyal customer, I send them a welcome email, and I tell them what my website is, how to log in as their loyal customer. So I give them their ID number. If I know their password, I include it in the email. And then I might tell them, remind them just like in bullet points of some of the perks they can expect, how they can log in, change their auto ship, do all those things. And also give them a few tips about their specific product that they're using. And like I said, they probably aren't reading it, but if they ever need that information, it's all in one email. They can go back and search in their inbox and find it like that. So that, a month down the road, if they don't know what's going on, I don't get to feel like, I didn't do my job. I can say, I sent you an email about that a couple days after you join. Go back and look, and it probably says something like, loyal customer information for you. That's the subject line or something like that. So, Eryn, you got anything else about how you take care of your loyals?
No, I think that's really, really good advice. I do use MailChimp. So we do place lots of LCs, and this is where I fail a lot of times, especially at the end of the month when I'm placing LCs and it's getting crazy. Make sure that anybody that you enroll and end up placing, that you add them to your list, because you still need to take care of them as well. They signed on with you as their distributor. So that would be the only thing that I would really add to it. And if you're friends with them on Facebook, put them in a list on Facebook. I have loved this. I have any of the people that are my customers that are on Facebook, I've created and added a list, and it just says current customers, and I can post information just to them, and I can post a thank you message to them, and nobody else on Facebook sees it. And I have really loved staying in touch with them that way. And it also gives me a reason to ask like Instagram people who become my customer and say, hey, friend request me on Facebook, or let me find you on Facebook, and I'm going to add you to my Facebook friends list. And then you'll be the first to know when there's any special promotions or anything like that. And then they connect to me on a more personal level than even Instagram. Instagram can still be a little impersonal, and Facebook is usually where the real relationship starts. And so it's just an added benefit to having them all in one list.
All right. Next question is about encouraging your downline, like good ways to encourage your downline.
Are we talking about encouraging or motivating? Because those are two completely different.
Encourage, but
where's Diane Cape when you need her?
I feel like this is kind of interchangeable. She is on and watching right now. I can promise you she's shouting at the screen right now.
She is one of the best at loving on people. How to encourage your team. A lot of us like tiptoe this really fine line where we feel like we can only check in with our distributors to ask them how it's going, how's that prospect list. One of the greatest ways that you can encourage your team is asking them, how is life? How is your job? What's going on? How can I pray for you? Continue the relationship. We are friends with most of our distributors before they come in the business, and then suddenly we stop talking to them about the stuff we did before. My sister called me the other day. She's a diamond under me, and she said, I feel like you ignore my calls because you think every time I call you, it's just to talk about the business. And I was like, it is. It is. We used to just jaw on the phone and talk about kids and we always talked about health and fitness. And she was like, it's just, it gets to be that way. It's just the easiest thing to talk about, right? So to encourage your team, sometimes it's just reminding them, I love you and I'm thinking about you and I want to help you build your business, but I also just want to take care of you as my friend. And I need to be better about that personally. I've got so many ducks flying in the air that sometimes I forget that people just really need to hear from me as me, and not as, your presidential diamond leader, Eryn Austin. Sometimes it's just important to be a friend to them. And that's a lot different than motivating. Now, how do you encourage your team? I would say loving them better, serving them in some way, whether that's just through prayer or a sweet note of encouragement posted on their wall. Motivating is a totally different question, though. That's totally different.
Yeah, and on motivating, I mean, the best way to motivate your team is to do the work yourself. Let them see you doing it. We try and motivate. We become, I know we say we get stuck in management mode. That means we're asking them about the prospect list and we're talking to them about the best way to approach people, and we're telling them how to write those private messages, and we're showing them how to post better, and we're doing all these things that aren't growing our businesses in any way. It's not income building for us. Yeah, we're pouring into them and we're helping them, but we are not doing the work ourselves. So just like we've mentioned before, and we've said it literally 500 times this month, the trickle down effect. If you stop working, if they see you stop working, even if you're in their face, but they see your posts slow down, they see your enrollment slow down because they see every time we announce people on Rap Slingers, they're going to slow down too. They're going to think, she's taking a break, I'm taking a break. And maybe they don't consciously think that, but that's ultimately what happens every single time. Promise. I have never had someone explode when I, was taking a nap and watching Netflix. So you have got to motivate them by doing the work yourself. And then also, sometimes you've got to dig a little bit. So this is going back into more of the training side of it. You have to dig. You have to do a little bit more footwork. And it's not always fun or easy to recognize this. But a lot of us pushed for several folks on our teams who were close to Ruby to actually hit Ruby this month. Or for anyone who really, really wanted to dig in and go Ruby this month, we were going to help them get to Ruby. And I have several girls who have been around for forever, like 3 months to over a year. And I finally sit down with them like, okay, are we going Ruby this month? Yes, I'm doing everything. I'm doing it all. Okay, here's what I want you to do. Send me a picture of your prospect list. Or I just say, how many names do you have on your prospect list? And the immediate response to send me a picture or how many names is, oops, you got me there. I don't even have one. What? How are you doing the work if you don't even have a prospect list? Had I not asked that very minuscule little question, that teeny tiny question that's so easy to overlook and just think, well, of course they have a prospect list. Everybody has a prospect list. I never would have known that they don't even have a freaking prospect list. So we had nothing to work with. And so then I can turn around and say, I want 50 to 100 names by the end of the night. This is not a joke. I'm not playing with you anymore. So, I mean.
I'm playing.
Do what?
I said, I ain't playing.
I ain't playing. Ain't nobody got time to play right now. So you've got to dig in. And sometimes, when they say, I'm talking to everybody and everybody's saying no, well, let me see some pictures of what they're saying and what you're saying. Give me some screenshots. You're not, calling them a liar. Tyler and I have been saying this a lot. You're a liar. I don't know what movie that's from. You're a liar.
What is that from?
Yelled it from the living room, and I can't even think. You're a liar. He says it's Kevin Hart, but I don't remember it. Kevin Hart. So yes, we're not calling them liars. We're just asking so that we can better coach them. You can't coach them if you're never at practice to see how they're practicing. Because they can say, Coach, I've been shooting hoops all day long and I can't make it. And you finally show up to practice and you see that they're sitting on their butt on the bleachers trying to shoot from the bleachers. I mean, it's just, you've got to dig in just a tiny little bit to see where their problem is, maybe where they've hit a roadblock. And we just have to ask the teeny tiny questions.
And I think it's really important to know somebody that you think isn't working. We say this all the time, but somebody that you think isn't working just might need a little bit of an extra leg up. So make sure, like Lindsay said, some of these people that she's talking to have been in for months and months and haven't gone Ruby. It's scary to reach out to those people and say, are you still in the game? Because what if they say no? It breaks my heart when somebody says, you know what, this isn't for me. Especially if I can look back and think, well, man, I could have stayed in better touch. So just stay in touch with people. You don't have to pester them. You can love on them. But also, there is a time for the question, are we going to do this or what? And then get ready to really dig in with them. That is why we get to the honor of being called a leader in this team. I mean, in this business. You get the privilege of being a VIP elite because they are putting more responsibility on you. It is not like you've just reached this pinnacle. No, you reach that level and it's more responsibility. You guys have to act like that now. You've got to have the ability to look at somebody and say, I really want to help you. Not, I really want to help myself by helping you. I really want to help you. And then dig in and do it. And it takes that effort together. Nobody is a lone wolf in this business, and definitely not in this team. No one is. And if that's what you think you are and you've got it all figured out, no, we don't want that. We want you with us, and all of your team needs that. I would never, ever have survived this business if it wasn't for the team of people. I wouldn't be here right now. And you guys have got to know that your distributors need you desperately.
Yeah. Okay. How to get out of a rut. Go listen to the Monday night call. That's not posted yet, so you can't listen to it. But I mean, we talked about that over and over and over and over again. And I think that's just because it's this time of year. And we've talked about it on this page over and over and over. And I talked about it on our team calls that we did over and over. And we posted videos about it over and over.
This morning in my video.
We talk about ruts and peaks and valleys all the time.
The biggest thing is Lindsay says it all the time, there are peaks and valleys, but there are no ruts. A rut is a section of road that has been so worn down and eroded that when your tire gets stuck in it, there's no getting it out. I mean, is that really what you're in right now? I mean, you're really in an eroded patch of soil and you can't get your butt out of it. I mean, that's not really where you are. Even if you can't get it in, a tow truck can come and haul you out. Keep on going. So there's no ruts. Towmater is on its way. He's coming to get you. There are no ruts. You might you're like right here, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm in the pit. And then like here's the upswing. It's just right here. Oh, just rant. There is no rut in this business. And let me tell you, every single time one of y'all says you're in a rut or you're in a slump, I giggle because I look at this entire business as like a massive timeline. And do you know what is huge in the timeline? What is huge in the timeline? If you're looking at it like a graph, Lindsay.
Don't ask me questions like this.
If I spread my business across 4 years, the growth periods are so massively huge. I cannot comprehend them. And the slow periods are barely conceivable. You can't even see them.
Desert, barren land.
Literally, you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't even know why I felt like I was in a rut. Every season has a purpose. If you're in a rut, you need to plant some seeds in the rut with you. Might as well. Maybe you're going to be sitting in some dirt. Plant a couple seeds. Your rut is self-made. 99.999% of the time, your rut is self-made. I talked about this book this morning. It's called Miracle Morning. If you're in a rut, get that book tonight and read the whole thing before you go to bed, and then start tomorrow with Miracle Morning. It is blown my mind. And let me tell you, I do not like mornings. My husband wakes up and he looks wonderful and he's excited and he's happy and he makes the kids breakfast. And I'm like, that's how I feel about mornings. You guys, this book is amazing. If you're in a rut, you need to change something up. You need to change up. Hold on, my heated blanket's going to roast me. You need to change up something in your routine massively. And something that got Lindsay out of a rut that she was in that wasn't even really a rut was was forced to do something on her own, forced out of her comfort zone. And not every one of you is going to be that same situation, but she was used to me doing every single party for her, and I got strep throat and was dying. I was dying.
I don't think you're dying.
I was dying. And she still wanted me to come. You still wanted me to come to that training. I mean, to that party. And I was dying. So I didn't go. And suddenly, my sweet baby bird was all on her own. And she was smiling and her little bird legs. She was going. Sometimes you have to force yourself out of your comfort zone. So if your comfort zone is posting on Facebook, start messaging people. If your comfort zone is messaging people on Facebook, go out and blitz somebody. I'm really kind of been convicted about how little I blitz. So go do something that's going to get you out of your comfort zone. It will build your confidence, because guess what? They're going to tell you no, and you're not going to die. Unless you have strep throat and somebody makes you go to a party. Then you might die. Lindsay, can we talk about how you really looked like this, though?
No, we cannot talk about it. From SpongeBob, okay? Just like
no SpongeBob. Cute bird. Much better.
Okay. Somebody said, Pam said something about prep for Black Friday. Why do we prep for Black Friday?
We prep for Wednesday. We prep for tonight at 11 o'clock. The reason we prep for Black Friday, but here's the thing. We can't say, oh my gosh, we got to be ready. We've gotten so spoiled in this business, Lindsay. When I first started, there were no hints and no BOGOs and no Black Friday specials. And I mean, no double kit things, nothing. And now we're like, oh, you gave us essential oil holiday kits. What's next? What's next? What's next? Our company is throwing stuff at us constantly. So I think you need to be ready all the time. And being ready simply means you have a list. And we've already talked about that tonight too. You've got to have a list written down, not in your head, Eryn Austin. I try to do that up here. Not in your head. It has to be written down. These are the people that I'm going to continue to contact about being my loyal customer because they were interested at some point. These are the people, because what if Black Friday comes and it's BOGO wraps for LCs and BOGO wraps for new DTs? You don't have both of those lists, you are the one losing. So you've got to have your list. The same goes for February in conference. I talked in my video this morning about that is our Super Bowl, and right now you're conditioning. One of the main parts of your conditioning for that is having your list. And if you leave it at home when you go to conference, Lindsay's going to cut you. Please bring it to conference because there's going to be this fire exploding inside of you, and everyone in your car ride on the way home is going to be, hold on, the whole way, and you're going to be like,
Got it.
Yes, like, do you guys want to eat? No, I'm good. You need to pee? No, I peed in my pants. I'm good. I mean, we're just working constantly.
A little RBF.
Well, oh yeah, Lindsay always has RBF. I have a picture of her coming back from her first conference, and it's like she's just mad. She's like, "I'm doing it."
Mini mugging. I'm serious.
It worked. I'm gonna start RBFing while I'm messaging people too,
and see if it works.
When
I'm trying to be super happy, Tyler always comes when I'm on the computer. I have to smile if I'm being happy in a message, and he comes in the room and he's like, "What's funny?" And I'm like, "Nothing's funny."
Awkward smile.
I'm writing a happy message. Okay, let me go back.
I'm so excited for you to join my business. You're going to see what a wonderful opportunity this is so quickly, and your personality and your wonderful spirit are going to make you an instant success. I know that you're going to be a valuable member of our team. I mean, I can totally smiling the whole time. This is the most brilliant thing anyone has ever typed. That's
okay. Okay. Haley Byers, that one thing, I'm sure there's way more than one that will take you to the next level. I get more no's and ignored more than anything. I'm stuck and don't want to give up. Okay. I'm going to speak to this because I know exactly where you are. So I started in July of 2013, and by January of 2014, so 6 months, I had 2 working distributors, kind of working distributors. They didn't have distributors under them, and they had a little bit of volume. And I wasn't, oh yes, I was executive. So this is 6 months in the business, and I had lots of parties at first, and I posted a good bit. I mean, not as much as didn't work then like I work now, but I didn't not work. So, and not to mention, let me say this too, I had 6 distributors. 2 were working. So a third of my distributors were working, kind of working. And then, but I kept working and I kept plugging away for those 6 months, feeling like nothing was ever going to happen and like I was just not ever going to go anywhere with this. Wound up at conference. And then that's when all of that work that I had done over those 6 months came to fruition, was February and March. So it was literally like 20-something people came in 2 months from the work that I did in 6 months. And that goes back to the seed planting and the not being discouraged. And like Eryn said, when you feel like you're right here, you're right on the cusp of the next big thing. You're right there. It's there waiting for you. You just can't see it. So you have to push. You have to push through those hard times. You have to push through the slow times. You have to push through the times where you feel like, I don't know if this is ever going to go anywhere, because it is. It will. Especially people like you, Haley Byers. You're going to be the most fantastic leader in the whole wide world. You can't even throw those terms around like, I don't want to quit. No, you're not going anywhere, ma'am. No, ma'am. We've all been there. And some of us were there a lot longer than others. Eryn, how long were you a Ruby?
18 months. 18 long freaking months. And then I was Emerald for 9. And I thought I was going Diamond 3 of those 9 months just within volume, so close. And it didn't happen. If anyone ever thought about quitting, it was me. But here's the thing, to all of you Haley Byers out there, all of you, I can't help but think of Sean Kelso. She is on Allison Anderson's team, and she is just a doll. She is one of my favorite people, and she had people under her that she had not enrolled, and months went by. We saw her at Myrtle Beach this past, I guess it was May. And I stood out on the porch at this restaurant where we had our little after party. And she said, I'm going to enroll a distributor. That was in May. She enrolled, Krista, I think, I don't even remember, maybe October. I think I literally cried real tears, because that is a breakthrough. Sean never gave up. She never stopped doing what she's doing. And she's got a runner. She's got a killer on her team. And that's what happens is one day you're going to stand on a stage and people are going to be looking at you like this. Say something that's going to inspire me. And you're going to have a story to tell that is specifically yours for a reason. And it's because there's somebody there that's going through the same thing. So all of this, and Haley, you teach me this, that there is always a purpose in waiting. Always. And that is what you have to accept with this business. It does not matter if the person to your left has skyrocketed so much faster than you. You stay right where you are, and you be thankful for the journey, and you be thankful for all of the purpose in the waiting. But you keep working. That's the thing. You can feel like this isn't happening, but if you stop working, it absolutely never will. Lindsay went, even since that conference. You know, Lindsay had a lot of pruning to do, and she had a lot of things happen. I mean, you can't look at her business and say, oh my gosh, she went so fast. I mean, you're talking about lots of restructuring and creativity. And I mean, it wasn't a simple thing for her. The timeline was condensed down to less time, but the amount of work and the amount of pain and disappointment and ignores was exponential because you're squeezing it into less time. And I'll tell you, she, and I talk about this all the time. I mean, we could give numbers, but we get ignored still, right? I mean, yeah. And it is still super, super frustrating, but we just know that probably 70% of those ignores will turn into something at some point, and the rest of them will just always be on your follow-up list. Those people I feel sorry for. At least tell me, no, leave me the heck alone.
And how do we know that? Just from experience, because we've experienced it. I was ignored my average time of being ignored by somebody before they give me any time of day is 8 months. So how do I know that that's my average? Because I've waited 8 months for a heck of a lot of people to come through. So you have to put some notches in your belt, experience. You gotta get there. And then also, just like Eryn said, maybe I went really fast. I went triple diamond in 10 months. Okay. Then I sat at triple for 18 months because I was tired. So I took a big fat break where I completely stopped working. Then I couldn't get my groove back. And 18, I mean, nobody's complaining about being at triple diamond. I was very happy there. However, that's a long time to sit there from one rank to the next when you went so fast. Then I get on my call last night, and I'm the one who took the longest. Took me almost 2.5 years to go presidential. It took me the longest. There was a girl on there who went presidential in 6 months. So then I'm like, God, what did I do wrong to go in 2 years? And then you look at people like Rhonda Hartman, who can go ambassador in 9 months. There's always going to be somebody who goes faster than you. You cannot look at those people. You cannot look to the right and to the left. Like Eryn said, your story is your story for a very specific reason. And you're probably not ever going to know all the reasons, but you're not going to know some of those reasons until you've reached that point. You're not going to know what you're learning in the midst of the learning. You've got to, hindsight's 2020. You've got to be able to look back and see what it was then. So like I said, somebody's always going to be faster than you. And fast is usually not an awesome thing because like Eryn said, things crumble. Things have to be restructured. You're not necessarily building the best people because you just have to put these people somewhere and that can be detrimental to a leg. Yeah. So be thankful for
hard for sure, no matter what. It's so easy to sit back and look at it and think that it seems easy, but it's very hard, and it's a problem solving. We are always, all of us, always finding solutions, and that is something else. Is as you build your business, things don't get easier the higher up your rank is. They only get harder. You're as an emerald looking down on maybe 17 to 20 people in your organization. When you're at the level of presidential, your problems are everyone's problems. And it becomes so overwhelming, and it's so much stuff. So starting today, you get in the mindset of, this is all preparing me to be who I need to be for my team in the future. Because you've got to be somebody who empathizes. You've got to be somebody who's been there. You've got to be somebody who has struggled in various ways. We all bring that. Lindsay's struggles are not my struggles. Thank God, because who would I talk to about my struggles that would be able to say, no, this is what you do to fix it? I've got to have somebody that's weakness is my strength and whose strength is my weakness. And that is why we work so well as a team. But you've got to start today knowing, this is preparing me and shaping me to be a leader, because I don't want to go anywhere. If this is going to be my career, I have to be willing to be really good at it. And that means being put through the fire massively. It's just like being a parent. It really is. You would rather go through the fire than make your team go through it. So you go ahead and take the tough blows, learn the tough lessons, so that when it comes time and you have somebody Haley, like you, who when you text message me, I can give you complete and utter honesty because I've been there. And we all have, and it may look different, but we've all been there. So in the future, you're going to be able to look at somebody and say, you know what? There was this November, and oh my gosh, this is exactly how I felt. And this is what happened. And that is priceless, absolutely priceless. It's all for a purpose. And your success will be the same. Lindsay's success in that small amount of time, what does that teach every single one of us all the time? Get to conference, get to events. It changed your business. It changed everything. We learn from that. We learn from perseverance. All of it is for your future team. I really believe that. And that if you can think of it that way, it's like I'm going through this so that my future children don't have to. I mean, it really is the same thing. We want to be able to take the tough blows so that they deflect off of you guys. And once you're a leader, double diamond and above, I would say specifically and especially, you'll be the one that's trying to stand in the middle of the situation, taking the hits instead of it being your team. And when you're presidential, you add somebody else into the mix. You got a BAM, and together you and the BAM stand there and you try to solve all the world's problems. So just go ahead and know that that's your purpose. And I think a lot of us can find a lot of peace there. I can be okay with struggling if it's for the sake of the people that are about to join my team. So maybe that's your piece, and maybe that's your motivation. I'm going to push through anyway, because someday somebody's going to ask you, how did you do it? And you got to have an answer for it.
Yeah. I feel like that was just a preaching session. I really like that whole session.
I need to take my own advice on it. That's why I was like, I had my own aha moment. Oh, it's like when Maddie was born, she was born in that really scary way. I struggled so much because all I wanted, you know this, was natural childbirth. And I had a doula, and that's all I wanted. And I had prepared for it. And then she came in this crazy, terrifying way, and I didn't hold her for 5 days. And I just felt like I had been cheated. That's really honestly what I felt for a long time. Really wrestled with it. Had lots of jealousy in my heart for the women who spit babies out of their hoo-haws like it was no big deal, and held them immediately. And I really struggled with it. But what I learned about a year later, when I first got my first phone call, my wife has preeclampsia. Our baby's coming 7 weeks early. We don't know what to do. She's freaking out. Can you come to the hospital? I went through all that stuff that I went through for a reason. Also, so that God could show me a miracle in Madeline, but so that I could help people in the future. And it has become a huge ministry for me. It is all about your perspective, and that if everything is a gift and everything is grace, and this business is part of your life and you're here for a reason, you know, you've got to allow those things to come in and change who you are. And that is something I've never put into practice with my business. I never have allowed myself to think, maybe it was all for a purpose. So you never know when you're going to have a aha moment that comes out of your own stupid butt. I mean, your stupid head.
Yeah.
I had an aha moment on my butt. No.
From anywhere. They really can come from anywhere.
They can come from Clementine too.
So we're going to end with this. We have a massive incentive going on right now, November challenge. You guys are trying to get as many loyal customers as possible. I had a girl break 10 today. Woo!
Renee?
18th to the 30th. She got 11 today. Yeah.
Daggum. Can we get a tutorial?
I know, for real, she's killing it. Oh my gosh.
Video? Renee, can you make a video?
Renee.
We want to hear your excitement. We want to know what you're saying.
So what we're going to do is we're going to end this session because somebody asked specifically the best way to get LCs. Remember what you're working for. You're working for a pair of teaks. You're working for a really cool.
Oh, neither one of us have it on.
I know.
I wear the thing every day.
Amazing hoodie.
We're literally in the washing machine right now.
Hold on, I got this. Hold on.
Thank God. I'm sweating so much.
Yeah, I hadn't washed mine yet, and now it's headed to be washed.
Oh, it gets so much softer when you hadn't washed it since Beach Bash.
Don't start. With me. Is that backwards for y'all?
No, it's right.
You're working for 100. 4 of you are working for 100. So total, we're giving away $400 in cash for Christmas. So this is what we're talking about.
Do not put the
You're a
towel
liar.
on.
You're a liar.
What do you say?
You're a liar.
Oh.
Like, that's the only thing we can say to each other until we figure out where it came from. You're a liar. Most effective way to get LCs. Eryn, you're the LC queen.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's changed for me so many times. And that's one of the reasons I harp all the time. When something stops working, start doing something else. Please don't keep doing the same thing you've always done. I think that was Einstein that said that's the definition of insanity. But so you're posting on Facebook, and let's say this really quickly. Please be careful of the images that you're posting. We say this all the time. Stock images, those images with the horrible shading around the edges because it's been shared too many times, cheesy stuff, those things do not work, and people will block you. Please stop using them. It might be convenient and it might be easy, but please, for the love of my cat, stop posting those things, because people scroll straight past it. But when it's your face, or when it's your kid's face, or when it's a pretty picture, or when it's creatively done, people are going to pause and see what you're talking about. One of my favorite things to do recently, especially on Instagram, is post a picture that has absolutely nothing to do with what I'm saying, but it's really eye-catching and neat. And then my caption is short and sweet and a little bit more of a sales pitch. And it's been getting me more attention because it's not obviously an it works post. Be creative in the way that you post. Continue to post consistently, but do it more and more creatively. I am constantly thinking of, how can I say what I need to say in a new and fresh way? Because people, I've been doing this for 4.5 freaking years. I have probably already said it, and people know that and they're watching me. So keep your consistency up with your posting. But when you're in a competition for LCs like this, you guys, there's no reason at all why you shouldn't be sending 20 to 25 messages every single day asking people to try one of your products.
Wait. Where are those messages? Where are the names going to come from? The ideas for the names for the messages? Anyone?
The lists that you have to have. This is why we're saying you've got to have that list always. And mine is in a notebook that my son keeps practicing his numbers in, which is going to get old real quick, on my desk. And I'm constantly adding to it. But there's no reason. You're in a competition, and you can tell them that. You can tell them that. You don't have to say, I'm so close to reaching my next goal. Who wants to help me out? No. You say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I am in a competition to earn Christmas cash. It's going to help me put gifts under my tree, or it's going to buy our fat Christmas turkey that costs $100. I don't know. I'm super, super excited about it. I'm looking for 4 people that want to try greens. This is why you should. I almost said it tightens, tones, and firms. That's not what that does. It's got 30 plus fruits and vegetables in it. Also probiotics, super good for immune boosting. It's going to help with your digestion. It's going to help balance the body. And it's super great because we're entering into the worst part of flu season. And this is just going to help your body better fight off those nasty germs. What do you think? Can I count you in as one of my 5 people? Dunzo, 25 people just got that message from me. And who cares? Out of 25 people, you're going to get somebody that's going to respond. Most of them will probably ignore you. And guess what? When Black Friday comes around, you have a reason to follow up. So you should be sending more messages today and tomorrow than ever before, because Black Friday is going to be an immediate reason to follow up. Every single time the company gives us something, which is really every month, every time they give us something like this, it's an opportunity for you to follow up with those ignores. Hey, just want to let you know this is super, super awesome. We just got word today, blah, 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 blah. It's a great opportunity for you to start your loyal customer program with us. And I mean, you guys just start sending the messages. And I have people ask me all the time, what, do you have a script? Do you have this? Do you have this? I think about how I would want somebody to say it to me, and then that's how I say it. I mean, really, that's a great sales tactic. If somebody was going to have a conversation with me and was going to convince me to buy something, how would I want that to go? And then that's how I word my messages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it for the evening. Do I think if I have anything else for LCs? No, nothing.
Nothing. I'm super excited about whatever's coming out later on this week, though. And I don't know anything. I've had a lot of messages. What do you know? I do not. though I would love to, I do not have a can and a string attached to Mark Pentecost's head. I'm going to propose such a thing, though. I'll suck his knowledge out of his brain with it. No, just his motivation. That's all I need, the motivation. You need like a constant streaming, like Pandora station of Mark Pentecost coaching calls. That would be amazing. I'm feeling a little down today, Mark. Well, let me tell you what we're going to do, team. I love it. I'm going to have a massive 5-day call with him next week, though.
High five.
Wait.
1, 2, 3, go. Oh, man.
Why is mine so slow?
You're delayed.
You're delayed.
I just forehead smacked you, so. And you fell back. It was perfect. It was so perfect.
All right. We love you guys. Look at that coconut oil. Holy crap.
Yes, Sam's.
Lula, did she get a bath in it?
No, she just gets it all over her sad spots.
Sad spots. That's a big old thing. All right, you guys, go get them. 20 messages. All you have to do is say what I just said.
Help me with my competition, please.
I think we should make them comment fresh how many LCs they have. Sucking what?
Who said sucking? The knowledge out of his brain. You said that.
Oh.
Where's this going? No.
And we're no longer live. As in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Goodbye.
I can't recover from that.